Hey there, this is Ray with Ray's Guide, and I got a little load here of mixed metals I've been refining on Hurston L2. Gonna be taking on a quick trip down to Lowville, gonna settle it all off, and I thought it'd be a good time to do a little talking about the Starmap. Now, this here's a thing that's very flawed and essential and poorly documented. That ain't a good combination. In fact, I'll be more than happy when this video becomes obsolete because they come up with something better. But in the meantime, it's what we got to work with. And you definitely got to work with it if you're getting from any place to any place else in the universe. And not everything about it is well known. So we're going to give you a little bit of talking about that. Now, the first thing you know about the Starmap is that a lot of features are not enabled unless you are sitting in the pilot seat. So if you are not seeing features that you think you ought to be seeing, first thing actually, am I sitting on my butt in the pilot seat? Now, the other thing that's going to sometimes happen is that you'll call up the Starmap and you won't see anything. Nothing at all. It's like you're nowhere. And usually one of three things will do the job in terms of getting you able to see something on the Starmap. The first is to scroll ferociously backwards and see if you can zoom out. You make sure your mouse is in the middle of the screen while you're doing that. Zoom out ferociously and see if you can see where you are on the verse. If that doesn't work, try double-clicking in the middle of the screen with your second mouse button. And if that doesn't work, try double-clicking on the screen with the first mouse button. If none of those things work, then what sometimes works will be to jump to some other Mobiglas app, like, I don't know, trading or vehicle loadout. Well, it just doesn't matter which other one. Just jump to some other app and then jump back to the Starmap. And surprisingly often, it'll fix things right up just like that. You'll see where you are. Now, one of the first things, remember, that's not really documented about the Starmap is that a right mouse button, double click, it will zoom you out to the whole Stanton system. Now, that may be not where you want to be looking at, but at least it's the place where you can then navigate from there. So again, double right click mouse, and you'll see the whole system. Important thing to remember. Then if you double click on any particular system, you will be able to see any particular planet or moon, you will be able to see that thing and its immediate surroundings. So, for example, if you click on a planet, you will zoom into the planet and its surrounding moons. If you click into moon, it will zoom into the moon and any surrounding communication systems or the stuff like that. Now, finally, if you single click on a moon or a planet, it will display all the various outposts and landing zones on the planet, with the primary landing zone having a big bullseye on it. Now, at this point, you should be able to click on one of those landing zones or outposts or whatever, and it will take you right there. It will set that as your location. Now, sometimes, particularly if you're zoomed in at an awkward amount, it'll be hard to do that. It'll be tricky to try whether your mouse will actually respond to clicking on it. Sometimes it works, particularly on moons, is if you single click on the moon again and zoom and center on the moon, then all the outposts seem to be just in the right place for being clicked on. Now, to move around further, if you hold down the left mouse button and move, you will rotate the map about the center where it is. And if you right click, and you can pan around where the location is. Now, you can use the mouse wheel to scroll in and out, and that works fine, but just got to remember that you will be scrolling in and out around where your mouse is. So before you do any scroll wheel working, make sure you know right where you want to be zooming in and out from and to, and have your mouse right there. Now, once you got the location selected and you click on the set route button, it'll should put up here on the left-hand side, put where your waypoints and your fuel usage to there. And if it doesn't, then there's something blocking you. There's some trouble. You may have to do the navigation manually or figure out what's up, like get further out of the atmosphere, or go to a random orbital marker and then try again from that orbital marker, or something like that. But I always like to do the Starmap so that I have selected all the way down to the ground. There's a reason for that we will show here as I'm flying here. Now, once you got your location set, you can go ahead and spool up your quantum drive and then hold the button down and it'll take you off on your way. Now, while you're on your way to your destination, you can call up the Starmap again, and it will, you can zoom in on your progress or zoom in on your destination, and you will see the actual progress to it. It's a kind of like, are we there yet feature. Now, once you're in orbit around your destination planet, you will, if you've selected, say, as I have Lorville here with that five-sided sort of house-looking figure, that five-sided base figure, you can then, again, spool up your quantum drive and hold down the quantum drive key, and once you've calibrated to it, and it'll take you to within 20 kilometers of it. When you find into Lorville like this, and I just come into 20 kilometers, finding your way the rest of the way there is easy, because you got, this big old Lorville building there, big old Houston Dynamics headquarters. It's sitting there. You can see it easily from 20 kilometers away. You can see it from 200 kilometers away, probably. But if you're coming into an outpost, you may not have any idea where that outpost is. And here's where a little trick with the star map comes in handy. You can, of course, if you want, just hit your quantum drive key and you'll see all the markers again. But when you do that, then all that valuable information about your altitude, speed, head, and direction disappears. And you don't want to be flying that blind into an outpost. So instead, if you go to the star map and you still have, say, Lorville set as your destination, all you got to do is hit the set route button again. And of course, you're too close to actually do the quantum drive, but it will set the route. It will tell you the distance. And then when you go leave the star map, you'll have the marker there again. And so you'll know exactly where you're flying to if you to get to that base or that outpost or that mining location, or whatever it is you set as a marker. And that's the basics of using the star map. As I said, it's not a perfect feature. It certainly shows a lot of room for improvement, and it's often troublesome. But you'll be needing it, and I hope this has made things a little bit easier. So fly straight, and I'll see you around the verse. This is Ray with Ray's Guide.